Over 8 episodes, Dopesick portrays the mass cover-up of the opioid crisis in the US and the heartbreaking consequences of the actions of Purdue Pharma, which permitted the manufacture and distribution of OxyContin in 1996. Dopesick's talented cast is entangled in the pursuit of legal action against the company, while closely studying the effects of drug addiction. The series debuted with outstanding acclaim in 2021 and won multiple awards for its compelling narrative, as well as Dopesick's portrayal of the real-life figures involved in the American epidemic. If an engrossing miniseries is what you're looking for, Dopesick, though hard-hitting, is highly recommended. The opioid crisis has been explored from an alternative perspective in an entirely separate series, exclusive to Netflix, although Painkiller had a far more polarizing response to Dopesick. Critics condemned the 2023 drama series starring Matthew Broderick for often sensationalizing the national tragedy. As might be expected, Dopesick is based on the 2018 book by Beth Macy, Dopesick, Dealers, Doctors and the Drug Company That Addicted America. This solidifies Michael Keaton's miniseries as one of the most elaborate and important media representations of the crisis, and Dopesick is available to stream on numerous streaming platforms, including Hulu and Disney+. Dopesick is the perfect short miniseries to binge if you love dramas. The 8-episode miniseries masters the art of dramatic storytelling. Dopesick shows how badly the opioid crisis devastated the United States for over a decade. It centers on the widespread prescription of the highly addictive Class II narcotic, OxyContin, particularly in small, rural towns of the USA. The drug was aggressively marketed by its pharmaceutical company and promoted as effective pain relief, misleading thousands of doctors and patients across the nation. Dopesick focuses on a fictional town in West Virginia, Finch Creek, which was created to represent a collection of towns disproportionately impacted by Purdue Pharma. The epidemic led to crime and death rates in unprecedented numbers in many of these areas. Although not uncommon for a miniseries, Dopesick tells its story through multiple viewpoints. The varying perspectives provide insight into the progression of individual arcs, which Dopesick achieves using one of the best non-linear narratives I have ever seen. The information is remarkably clear, thanks to the inclusion of helpful date reminders throughout the episodes. Not to mention, the series powerfully captures the prolonged and devastating tragedy that is aided by a well-paced, 8-episode format. Needless to say, it's no small feat to tackle a deeply sensitive subject that has impacted millions of Americans, but Dopesick's ambition is richly rewarded. Dopesick is some of Michael Keaton's best work. Dr. Samuel Finnix could be the pinnacle of Keaton's career. Dr. Samuel Finnix, Michael Keaton, looks sick in Dopesick 20th Television, John Goldwyn Productions, and the Littlefield Company. Michael Keaton portrays Dr. Samuel Finnix, an individual inspired by the real Tennessee doctor, Dr. Stephen Lloyd. Finnix is at the center of Dopesick's story in the blue-collar Appalachian town that is soon targeted by Purdue sales rep, Billy Cutler, Will Poulter. Keaton's protagonist begins prescribing OxyContin in the belief that it will help his patients before he becomes a victim of addiction himself. Dr. Finnix is universally liked as a character in Dopesick, and Keaton's charge receives the biggest transformation across the entire series. Not only does Keaton portray the doctor's descent into addiction, but then the reconciliation with his guilt and the consequences of his own actions. Admittedly, it is mesmerizing to watch how Dr. Finnix's story unfolds on screen, and Keaton says that he is receiving some of the best reactions of his whole career from Dopesick. Speaking with Variety, Keaton revealed, "There's appreciation for it as a really high-quality piece of work." The role earned Keaton numerous accolades, including a Primetime Emmy, a Golden Globe, and a SAG Award, which the actor dedicated to the memory of his nephew. Why Dopesick got such good reviews? Dopesick is critically acclaimed. Bridget Meyer, Rosario Dawson, looks concerned in Dopesick 20th Television, John Goldwyn Productions, and the Littlefield Company. As it stands, Dopesick currently has a critical 89% on Rotten Tomatoes and holds an impressive audience score of 94%. The miniseries was highly praised for a wide scope of elements, the foremost being the captivating performances of Dopesick's main ensemble. Alongside Keaton is Ahsoka's Rosario Dawson, who provided an equally impressive turn, as well as Caitlin Dever, who I am convinced gave the best performance of her career as the town's youngest coal miner, Betsy Malum. The large list of acclaimed actors was integral in bringing the story to life and instilling a strong sense of credibility throughout. Perhaps the most important aspect of the drama is how strongly Dopesick reaffirms that drug addiction does not discriminate. It does not concern itself with wealth, social status, sexuality, gender, or race. Addiction can happen to anyone at any time. For this reason, Dopesick demonstrates the reality of the crisis, which is enough alone to be greatly commended. The series shows the extent of systemic failures that allowed this to unfold, which is significant in exposing the role of the Sackler family. This crucially extends beyond Dopesick's harrowing representation of the epidemic to a wider acknowledgement of the crisis.